Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to part 3 of my PlayStation Platinum collection. Platinum in a video game can often enough be one of the most orgasmic achievements in video gaming history, but at the same time, it can be pretty draining. From my perspective, where I try to make videos and have a part-time job to go to, I don't exactly get enough time to fully 100% and play video games, apart from having a day off. But when I do have that spare time, I try to make the most of it. I've got a personal list of my own of what games do I need to platinum, and since I don't usually buy a whole lot of modern video games nowadays, I try to spend my energy on games I currently have. And you'll definitely see that trend as we move forward towards the future. So here are my newest additions to my Platinum collection, going from 57 to 67. So even though I'll be talking about 10 video games, some of these games were products I really wanted to platinum for the longest time, and I'm pretty stoked to talk about them. Yo, what's going on, lads and gals? This is unscripted content. Back at it again with a very clean-shaven beard. So I just want to give out like a very quick update. It's actually 11 platinum trophies, not 10. Like, I automatically assumed it was 10 platinum trophies, going from 57 to 67, so I automatically thought it was 10. But I triple checked everything during the video editing process, and yeah, it turned out to be 11. Like, I don't know how I fucked up on that one, but yeah, it's actually 11 platinum trophies and not 10, so just to let you know on that. And just like before, I'll also give out my end results, how difficult it was to complete, and my overall time to finish. I'll try my best to be in depth with my experience, and other than that, let's begin with Platinum 57, Rugby League Live 4. If anyone saw my Rugby League Live 3 Platinum video, then you'll know just how infuriating it was. I stayed up all night multiple times just to reach to user level 60, but it was a massive grind. Probably one of my not so favorite Platinum runs. So if you think I'll be crazy to go back to the series just to platinum Rugby League Live 4, but I ended up doing so. And I have to say, trying to complete Rugby League Live 4 this time around was actually an easy breeze. Yeah, it was smooth sailing. The same trophies do apply from the previous game in terms of career mode, but this game's trophies are more focused on the gameplay side. More so with getting trophies on the hardest difficulty. The way I tackled it, was to use a second controller so the AI doesn't bug me that much. Then I play a match for a long time, roughly an 80-minute match, and start racking up trophies one by one. Really, the only grinding trophy to acquire was playing in every stadium at least once. But even then, if you write down on your notepad which stadiums you competed in, the final stages will be much easier on yourself. I definitely enjoyed this platinum run a lot more than Live 3, and it's a platinum I would recommend if you're into the NRL. So the difficulty level is easy, time for full completion was 20 to 25 hours, and only 0.1% of players have earned this trophy as of the date of this video. And I just so happen to be a part of that 0.1% of players, so thank you very much. Namaste. I love torturing myself. And just bear in mind when I say a percentage of people have got this platinum, it's not going to be 100% facts, as many other gamers might have gotten this platinum in a non too distant future. So keep in mind that percentage number can change at any given time. Platinum number 58 belongs to Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. This was part of the Insane Trilogy, 3 original PlayStation 1 Crash games remade from the ground up to make it more accessible for modern hardware systems. And all 3 original games have their own trophy list. I was really looking forward to trying out this run, as it is one of my favourite video games of all time. Playing through the game will be pretty straightforward, and if you are familiar with the game itself, then collecting all the gems will be a cakewalk. And after 100%ing the game, there was only one more thing left to do. Collecting all the relics. Now in the Insane Trilogy, they added the relics for 1 and 2, basically allowing more replay value for the player, and while I definitely appreciate the thought, the relics in Crash 2 were a nightmare to collect. You have to get all 27 relics, and they have to be gold or better. So there were a lot of retries, trial and error to find the fastest method to get the best time possible, and even managing to do everything correctly I still miss my gold relic in just mere seconds. And while this section is difficult, it's not impossible. It's going to be one of those times where you have to be patient and do your best. If you're getting too angry, then take a break and come back when you're ready. And eventually, after some grueling stages here and there, I managed to get the Platinum Trophy. I still had fun with the game, but the last trophy to get all the relics really tested my skills. But I am happy to have fully completed Cortex Strikes Back. The difficulty level is medium, time for full completion is 15 to 25 hours, depending on your skill level, and only 0.6% of players have earned this platinum. Platinum number 59 goes to Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. Continuing on the trend with the Insane Trilogy, I immediately went over to the third installment of the Crash Bandicoot series, and thankfully, it was a bit easier than Cortex Strikes Back, all due to the power-ups you get from defeating the boss. But even so, the relics are still nothing to sleep on. Again, it will depend on your skill level when requiring those relics, and once again, you have to get either gold or better for this trophy to count. But other than that, the layout is the same. Play through the story, collect all the gems, do some miscellaneous trophies, and finally get all the gold relics. If you know what you're doing, then this will be easy for you. But as for the rest, best of luck to you. The difficulty level was for me, medium again, time for full completion is roughly 20 to 30 hours, and only 0.8% of players have earned this platinum. After playing through Crash 3, I connected my PlayStation 3 console back up and started going through a checklist of games I wanted to platinum. And on top of that list was platinum number 60, Fallout New Vegas. This is another one of my favorite video games, and I've been meaning to platinum this game for the longest time. But I end up forgetting about it most of the time. But I finally found myself the time and energy to do so, and what a journey it was. Getting all the endings, grinding on some combat trophies, completing all of the quests that are listed, including finding 50-star bottle caps, and doing a glitch where you can level up very quickly and earn bottle caps very quickly. That helped me out tremendously, as I was able to buy everything I needed instead of wandering around. Let me know if you'll like a guide on how to earn bottle caps quickly in this game in the comment section below. Then after doing all that, then I had to win around 30 games of Caravan, which is actually pretty fun, believe it or not. It's a pretty underrated feature in New Vegas. Then, I only had one more trophy left, which is to beat Fallout New Vegas on hardcore mode. For this one, I just followed a speedrun guide, but I did remember having to save often, getting my speech to 100, and use my companions to help me out during the tougher enemies. Thank you for your sacrifices. The platinum run was pretty long overall, but I had a lot of fun from start to finish, which is a very important feature to have in trophy hunting. Difficulty level is medium, time for full completion is 80 to 100 plus hours, and only 1.2% of players have earned this platinum. While New Vegas took a long time to complete, this next one is sure as hell very short. Platinum number 61 belongs to... My name is Mayo. Now I know I was aiming to focus on more games with tougher trophy goals and requirements, but I mean, for a game that costs less than $2 in Australia, I'd be a fool to pass this one up. There's really nothing to say here, you just tap the mayonnaise jar, and the more you tap, the more costumes you unlock, and you wear those costumes to earn more trophies. I will admit, it was cool seeing trophies pop up one after another straight away, but yeah, this platinum run is so simple that even your pet can figure it out. The difficulty level is kid mode, time for full completion is 30 to 45 minutes, and only a rare and outstanding few people of 78.1% of players have earned this platinum. That's a joke. Platinum number 62 goes to Ratchet Clank 2. This time of the season has really been focused a lot on the Ratchet Clank trilogy, and while I was in the works for recording gameplay footage and writing the scripts down, I had time to try and fully complete the second installment. I already platinumed up your arsenals, so I should probably do the same for the other two games. Going Commando was up first, and after finishing the story, then it was time to do some housekeeping. Collecting all the bolts, upgrading all the weapons, and finish up the skills. I will say that the skills were a little bit challenging in some stages, mostly in the ship areas. And not to mention, it took a fair bit of time to upgrade all my weapons to its maximum ability. Also, fuck this nanotech upgrade. But I enjoyed my platinum run here, and I'm glad to have completed it. The difficulty level is easy, time for full completion is 25 to 30 hours, and only 10.7% of players have earned this platinum. Platinum number 63 is Ratchet Clank 2002. The reason I played this after the second game is because I thought that completing this game would be much tougher. But honestly, I went through this game like butter. And I do have to give credit that if it wasn't for the Blackwater City glitch, this game would have taken me way longer to finish. Link in description if you would like to learn how to perform this glitch. Much like going commando, you collect all the bolts, go through all the skills, and that's it. There's really not much else to do. If you have 100% of the game before on the PlayStation 2, then you'll have zero issues. Difficulty level is easy, time for full completion is 20 to 25 hours, and only 7.1% of players have earned this platinum. Let's keep the ball rolling with the PlayStation 3 side of things, because platinum number 64 goes to Toy Story 3. Holy shit, man. Toy Story 3. Such an underrated video game, and what a joy it was to come back to this game. While the main story is easy enough with its collectibles and a few miscellaneous trophies, the Woody's Roundup was a game mode I was really looking forward to the most. For those who don't know, it's basically an open sandbox area where you can build and create stuff to your liking. It's actually pretty good. But in terms of trophy hunting, this can be a painful experience if you don't know what you're doing. In Woody's Roundup, you have to collect all the gold stars, which is basically completing tasks. For me, they weren't too bad at first, but then I had to try and find all of the clothing items in the game. And because there's no map marker to tell me where they are, I was running around in circles trying to collect every single one of them. I only had one more clove item to find, and this one was just exhausting. I spent a good couple of hours trying to find it until I managed to do so in the most unexpected places. And also, keep in mind that finding all 6 of the Pick-O-Matic trophies can tend to glitch sometimes, so watch out for that. I really do love this game, I really do, more than I thought I would, but finding every item and finishing up all the gold stars in Woody's Roundup was a nightmare. Yeah, I said it. Difficulty level is medium, but that'll depend on your skill level. Time for full completion is 25 to 30 hours, and only 1.2% of players have earned this platinum. Platinum number 65 goes to South Park: The Stick of Truth. I mean, I already did the PlayStation 4 version, so what better way to get those platinum numbers up than by playing the same game again on a different system. I've already talked about this game's platinum before, so I'll be brief. This game has a lot of missable trophies, 21 to be accurate, so in my recommendation, I highly suggest you go and follow a platinum guide on this one, because once you miss something, you have to either reload your save or start the game again. This game's story only lasts for around 8 to 10 hours, maybe 6 to 8 if you know what you are doing, so it's not the end of the world if you miss a potential trophy to unlock. But trust me, follow a guide to make it easier on yourself, and other than that, enjoy the game. It's a pretty old game, but it's still very good to come back to. And really, as long as you get all the friends and collecting all the Pokemons, then you'll save yourself a fair bit of time and stress. Difficulty level is easy, time for full completion is 15 to 20 hours, and only 2.9% of players have earned this platinum. Platinum number 66 belongs to one of my most underrated video games I ever played in my life, and that is X-Men Origins Wolverine. The movie itself didn't go exactly to plan, but if there was one good thing that came out of the movie, was the video game itself. When starting the game, I made it my mission to find every collectible and do my best to upgrade Wolverine, and farming for some combat trophies. I really do think this game deserves so much more attention, but when it comes to working your way and receiving a platinum trophy, you'll have to keep a close eye on 2 sections. First, the Sentinel boss fight. Towards the end of the boss, you have to perform a button mash to finish up the boss fight. But for some strange reason, someone didn't program the button mash to sync up well with the gameplay here, so I ended up getting stuck. I'm not trying to be bad on purpose, I was pressing the button as hard as I could, but it was no use. There was only one way for me to actually do this. I put my controller on the floor, then I use my non-dominant hands to hold the controller down so it doesn't move. Then, with my dominant hand, I just tap the button as fast as I possibly can. I tapped like I never tapped anything before. My skills for typing on my keyboard had led me to this very moment. It took a bit of retries, but I managed to finally finish the boss fight. But if you are stuck like I was, then follow this guide. Or even better, if you have the PlayStation 3 drum set from Guitar Hero, then just hook that up and drum away. And the second thing to keep an eye out is beating the final boss on hard mode. The way I did it was to understand the pattern in this boss. In this stage, only use the strong attacks and lunge whenever he is far away, but don't attack him while he's down, otherwise he'll move out of the way. Then, in the final stage, use the same technique, but after your lunge attack, you can attack him while he's down. But bear in mind, you can only hit him for at least 4 times in a row before he'll move out of the way. And remember to watch out for those laser attacks, because they can fuck you over pretty easily. At the end of the day though, this is a pretty easy trophy to obtain. Even playing this on hard mode wasn't all that challenging. But as long as you watch out for those 2 things I said earlier, then you will be just fine. Difficulty level is easy, time for full completion is 20 to 25 hours, and only 3.8% of players have earned this platinum. And finally, platinum number 67 goes to a newer release video game called Crash Team Rumble. Even a couple of days before the eventual release of the game, I knew I wanted to platinum this game, but I never thought it would be possible due to the requirements. I don't know if it's all skill based, but I ended up racking up trophies one by one, match after match. From banking 1000 to 200 Wumpa Fruits, to knocking out 5 players without getting myself knocked out. The character-specific trophies weren't that bad either. I'm pretty sure I was lucky as I waited for the right time and used the right strategy to perform a character move. And when done, I got those trophies pretty easily. The only grind is to level up any character to level 15, that'll most likely be your last trophy as it was for me. I would say try not to overthink the trophy list here, just try to enjoy the game and have fun with it like I did. Difficulty level is easy, time for full completion is 15 to 25 hours depending on skill level, even though it actually took me 10 hours, but I digress, and only 3.8% of players have earned this platinum. And that concludes part 3 of my platinum collection. You can see that I am working my way towards my 100th platinum trophy, and I could totally do a series on it if I wanted to. But in order for it to be rewarding, I should probably play video games that are challenging and definitely feel rewarding on the inside, and not the Mayo game for example. It'll be interesting to see how everything goes from here on out, and with that said, I thank you all so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And with that being said, my name is Justin Hurst, telling you to keep calm and keep playing video games.